The city of Neo Central was bright, loud, and full of tech, but not for everyone. Down in the old lower zones, where the buildings shook and the air buzzed with broken signals, a quiet girl stepped off the Skytram. Her name was Nara. She wore a faded jacket with torn seams and old tech boots that sparked when she walked. In her arms, she held a broken datapad, screen cracked, barely working, but she never let it go. She had just been transferred to Class 9Z, the lowest-ranked class in the whole school system. The school's tall glass gates opened with a beep as she entered. High-tech drones flew over her head, scanning her face, her clothes, and even her heartbeat. The students walking by barely looked at her. Some stared and laughed. "Where's she from? The junkyard?" One girl whispered, loud enough for others to hear. "Is that a datapad or a piece of trash?" said another boy, grinning. Naira said nothing. She just walked quietly to her class. Inside Class 9Z, the air was cold and gray. Unlike other classrooms with color walls and smart desks, this one had broken chairs, flickering lights, and one teacher drone with a cracked lens. As soon as Nira sat down, a group of students behind her started whispering. "She's not even in the system. Did you see her profile? It's blank. No Guardian ID, no background. Probably a mistake. Or a reject." But Naira didn't answer. She opened her broken datapad and tapped gently. The screen showed nothing but static. Still, she stared at it like it mattered more than anything. After class, the school AI system, called EDUCORE, beeped in her ear. "Student Naira. No Guardian profile detected. You are assigned to after-school cleaning duty. Report to Lab Zone 3. She nodded quietly. Cleaning duty was only for students without family in the system or those the school didn't care about. For the next 3 days, things got worse. Students tripped her in the hall. Some hit her lunch tray. Others erased her name from the group projects. One day, a boy from Class 9E spit on her boots and said, "Stay in your zone, 9Z freak." She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just kept walking. The other students were annoyed. They wanted her to break. Then came the tech lab incident. Nira was told to clean Lab Zone 3 alone. She walked in and started wiping old metal surfaces. The lab smelled like burnt wires. Suddenly, the door closed behind her, locked. She turned around. 4 students were there, laughing. One of them held a holo recorder. Another held a buzzing clipper tool. "Hey, quiet girl," said one. "Time to give you a new look." Naira stood still. They surrounded her. The clippers buzzed. They shaved off a part of her hair, a clean, ugly patch right above her left ear. She didn't move. She didn't fight back. They recorded it, laughing and joking. "Smile for the hologram, 9Z, one bully said. The clippers dropped to the floor. The kids walked away, laughing harder than ever. Naira stood alone in the lab, one hand slowly touching the shaved patch on her head. Still no tears, still no scream, just silence. Later that night, she sat on the rooftop of the dorm center, under the blinking lights of the city. She placed the broken datapad on her lap and pressed a hidden button behind its cracked screen. A soft red light blinked. She whispered just 2 words. The next morning, the students of Class 9Z were still talking about the video. The bullies had uploaded the hologram clip to the private school network. It spread like fire. Students laughed as they watched Nira standing still, silent, as her hair was shaved. She didn't even fight back. One girl said, "Guess she knows her place." Another smirked. Naira sat in her seat, her face blank, her head covered now with a beanie. No one knew that behind that silence, something was moving. During the lunch break, the school's AI system, EDUCORE, flashed a warning across all screens. Unauthorized data scan detected near principal's office. Security alert level, yellow. No one paid much attention until the second message came. Notice, all outer gates temporarily locked by central order, awaiting override code, MBL7. Teachers looked at each other. The security bots froze in place. The drones above the school stopped midair humming louder than usual. In the meantime, Nira walked slowly through the hall, holding her broken datapad. Suddenly, a voice came through her hidden earpiece, low and full of power. "Are you hurt?" Naira didn't answer with words. She just tapped twice on the screen. The voice replied, "Good. Stand by. They're not ready yet." At 2 o'clock p.m. sharp, a sleek black hover car descended into the schoolyard without clearance. No ID, no signal. Students ran to the windows. Teachers gasped. Security bots moved in, but froze before getting close. The car door opened slowly. Out stepped a tall woman in a dark navy coat with gold lining. Her boots clicked loudly as she walked through the courtyard like she owned the ground. Her ID badge blinked in red light. Mayor Oxane. AVEL Raid ACES. NEOCNTURI. The teachers rushed out to greet her, but the mayor ignored them. She walked past them like ghosts. She entered the school building without saying a word. Inside Class 9Z, the students were whispering. "Did you see that car? Who is she? Why are the bots not stopping her?" Then the classroom door opened. Mayor Oxen stepped in, and everyone went silent. Her eyes scanned the room like lasers. Cold, sharp, unforgiving. She walked straight to Naira, still sitting in the back corner. Then, in front of everyone, the mayor knelt beside her and gently removed the beanie. Everyone gasped. The mayor saw the patch of shaved hair, the small scar, the silence in her daughter's eyes. Then, she stood. Her voice was low, but it shook the walls. "Which one of you touched my daughter?" No one spoke. She pointed to the classroom screen. "EDUCORA. Play back all holocam data from this room and Lab Zone 3. A moment later, the lights dimmed. The video played, every second of the bullying, every laugh, every insult, the shaving. Some students turned pale. Others looked at the floor, trying to disappear. When the video ended, Mayor Oxen said nothing. Then she slowly turned to the teacher drone in the corner. "Unit 47B, you allowed this." The drone buzzed nervously. Student Naira was classified unverified orphan. Her guardian profile. "Her guardian profile is now activated," she interrupted coldly. "Full override, Mayor class, effective immediately." She looked at the students again. "Each of you who laughed, each of you who watched, and the ones who touched her, I will not forget you. Not today. Not ever." Just then, the main screen in the hallway flashed one more message. "All security doors unlocked by command. MBL7. Mayor Lena Oxen, authority verified." The school gates opened again, but the silence inside remained. Naira stood up. Her datapad beeped softly as it synced with the city system for the first time. All eyes followed her as she walked out behind the mayor. And the last thing Mayor Oxen said before leaving the classroom. She turned at the door and stared straight at the bullies. "You think you know who people are just by what they wear or how they look. But sometimes, power hides on purpose." Then she was gone. After that day, everything changed at Neo Centura High. Class 9Z was no longer loud. The bullies kept their heads down. No one dared look Naira in the eyes. But Naira, she still didn't smile, still didn't talk. She came to class, took notes on her repaired datapad, and left without a word. Only now, the datapad glowed with a strange golden symbol no one could read. Even EDUCORE, the school AI, tried scanning it once, and crashed for 3 minutes straight. Late one night, when the city was sleeping, Naira entered the school's basement. There was a hidden door behind the janitor's bot charger. She tapped on it using a pattern only she knew. Tap, tap, tap. Pause. Tap. The wall slid open. Behind it was an old control room, dusty, full of forgotten tech. In the center, a single terminal blinked green. She connected her datapad. The screen lit up with a strange file. ZETAN. Mission PN Dang. Just then, her earpiece buzzed. The voice from before spoke again. It was Agent Yori, one of the mayor's secret officers. "Naira, Are you inside the terminal room? She nodded. Good. Open file ZETAN. Your mother authorized your access this morning. Nira typed in the code, LOX919 Mayor. The screen changed. What she saw made her eyes go wide. ZTAN wasn't just a file. It was a full security operation with names, maps, AI control codes, and school drone overrides. And at the top of the list, primary target, Headmaster Voss. Status: Axik IV 3 to PROGECTEVN. Naira's fingers shook slightly as she read. So this was more than just bullying. Someone inside the school was trying to stop her mother's secret work. Someone powerful. Meanwhile, in the headmaster's office, a tall man with silver gloves and glowing cyber eyes leaned back in his chair. He was watching a private camera feed of Nira. He saw her opening the basement door. He saw her reading the ZETAN file. He smiled. So, the mayor's little shadow has teeth, he whispered. He pressed a button on his desk. In the school walls, hidden bots came online. Tiny red lights blinked to life. Time to test what she really knows. Back in the basement, Naira copied the file to her datapad. Suddenly, the room lights flickered. The door behind her slammed shut. Her datapad flashed a warning. Interiores ion detested. Hunter Duronius activated. Click, click, click. Metal claws echoed in the dark. Nira looked up to see two spider-like drones drop from the ceiling, red eyes glowing. She grabbed a broken broom handle and stood her ground. Her voice was calm, cold. You picked the wrong night. The first drone lunged, but Nira was faster. She spun, jammed the broomstick into its eye, and slammed it into the power terminal. Sparks flew. The second bot hissed, firing a net. Nira ducked and rolled, grabbed a tech rod from the shelf, and smashed its leg. Boom! The drone crashed into the wall. Panting, Nira grabbed her datapad and ran. As the hallway lights blinked wildly, she whispered into her earpiece. File ZTAN is secured, but they're watching. It's time to tell Mom everything. The next morning, Neo Centura buzzed like usual. Flying cars zipped through smoggy skies. Giant holograms flashed fashion ads and tech news. Schools opened. Children filed in. But deep inside City Command Tower, Mayor Rania stood in silence. She was dressed in full black, military-style jacket, steel boots, and her badge glowing on her chest. A tall woman with powerful eyes, calm voice, unshaken will. A digital screen floated before her, showing a live feed from Neo Centura High. She tapped her earpiece. Agent Yori, is my daughter safe? The reply came fast. Yes, Madam Mayor. Nira fought off 2 hunter drones. She has the ZETAN file. She's on her way to the extraction zone. Rania nodded slowly. Then it begins. She turned to a small red button on the wall. Low CKWN initiate Sector 9Z. Meanwhile at school, the bullies were laughing again. They had no idea what happened last night. Kara, the rich girl who shaved Nira's head, scrolled through her holocam. We should post the video now. It'll go viral, she smirked. Her friends giggled. But before she could hit upload, her screen went black. So did all the others. Suddenly, the school's AI voice changed. It wasn't soft anymore. It was loud, deep. Attention! City emergency PROTOSUSOLS engaged. All students report to main hall immediately. Panic broke out. Lights turned red. Robotic teachers froze. Steel shutters slammed down over windows. In the middle of the chaos, Nira walked in. Her hair was still uneven, her clothes still patched, but her walk was strong, confident. Her datapad glowed bright in her hand. Students turned. Whispers rose. Even Kara froze when she saw Nira's eyes. Nira didn't speak. She just walked to the center of the room and stood on a desk. Her voice was calm, but firm. You all thought I was nobody. You laughed, you hurt, you made fun of what you didn't understand. But today, I'm here not as your classmate. I'm here as the daughter of Mayor Rania. Gasps filled the hall. Kara stepped back. One of the boys even dropped his tablet. Just then, the giant screen above the hall turned on. Mayor Rania appeared. Students, teachers, citizens of Neo Centura High, listen carefully. There is a traitor hiding among you. A man who has worked against this city and its people for years. He used children to cover his crimes. He thought no one would notice. She raised a finger. But someone did, my daughter. Suddenly, 2 security bots smashed through the wall behind the stage. They dragged out Headmaster Voss screaming. Lies, she's a child. This is madness. But no one believed him anymore. Nara held up her datapad and pressed play. A hidden recording played, Voss talking to someone about Project ED and sabotage, and wiping Guardian records of students. The school went silent. Kara looked at Nira, ashamed. The same girl she bullied was now saving the school. Naira stepped down from the desk and walked toward the exit. Your games are over, she said softly, looking at the stunned bullies. As she reached the doors, the security bots opened a path. Outside, a black hovercar waited. Inside it, Mayor Rania, smiling proudly. Naira got in without a word, and for the first time in days, she smiled. The hovercar flew across Neo Centura's skyline. Inside, Naira sat beside her mother, Mayor Rania. Neither spoke for a moment. Finally, Nira asked, "Why did you hide me in that school?" Rania looked ahead. Because someone inside the city is leaking secrets. We needed someone invisible, someone they'd ignore. Naira clenched her fists. They shaved my head, Mom. I know, Rania said quietly. And now they'll never forget you. The car dove underground into a hidden base. Inside, a giant vault opened. A glowing symbol read, EDN Core. Rania turned to Nira. You have the last key. Your datapad holds the code. Suddenly, alarms blared. BUEACHN ceased 12. Naira looked up. Kara and 2 bullies were trying to sneak in, following them. But why? The real reason would shock them all. The alarms echoed through the underground vault. Mayor Rania stepped forward, eyes narrowing. They followed us. Security drones captured Kara and the other bullies, who looked around in shock. What is this place? Kara asked, her voice shaking. Naira stepped closer, no longer silent. This is EDEN, the city's backup brain. Kara laughed nervously. You're just a charity case. No, Rania interrupted. She's my daughter, and she holds the key to the city's soul. Rania turned to Nira. Activate it. Nira took out her broken datapad. It lit up in her hand, glowing brighter than ever. The screen flashed. RESETCORUPTION. Yes/no? Naira pressed yes. A wave of white light rushed through the chamber and up into the city. Neo Centura flickered. Systems rebooted. Every corrupt AI program erased. In the school, the bully files were flagged. The ones who hurt Nira, marked for expulsion. Back at the vault, Kara fell to her knees. We didn't know. Naira looked at her. You never cared to ask. Mayor Rania placed a hand on Naira's shoulder. Your silence was your strength. But your voice, that's your power. The cameras caught everything. The city watched. The next day, headlines read, Mayor's daughter resets Neo Centura from bully to hero. And Nira, once the quiet girl in Class 9Z, became a symbol of silent strength and a new future.